Hi, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns. You're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role playing games with friends. This is part of the Intercontinental Group of Awesome. It's our Sunday group, so called because we have folks in the United States where I am, as well as in Europe, several different countries. It's fun. And we are and have been for all of Sundays on 2021, been playing Apocalypse World Burned Over. It's a slight hybrid in that we use the Burned Over zine, which was released as part of Kickstarter's Zine Quest last year, I believe. Or was released last year, but I think it may have been kicked in 2019. Doesn't matter. Came out last year. But then there was a recent update that significantly changed and added some things. We've adopted a little bit of that. But primarily, we're still playing with the Zine edition, which you can purchase on DriveThruRPG or through Vincent and McGay Baker's website. I'm pretty darn sure they either sell it themselves or point you to DriveThru. Regardless, Google Apocalypse World Burned Over, you'll find it. It's well worth your money. It's pretty cool. It's a YA style approach to an Apocalypse World game. So with all that out of the way, let's talk about our setting. We are using the Carnival of Bullets, which comes out from Sawyer of Rankin, aka Ferretheim. If you think this sounds interesting, then you should definitely check out Ferretheim Games, also on DriveThru. Sawyer would appreciate your support. We are significantly into our game. I believe this is a sixth or seventh session. So very excited to continue things on. Before we go through and introduce folks, you'll notice that Tyler is not here right now. Tyler may join us. He was driving home in a pretty rough storm, and we told him, take your time, friend. It is not a rush. No problem at all. So hopefully Tyler will join us soon. If not, hopefully he is safe. So let's talk about our safety tools. We have lines against cannibalism, gratuitous cruelty presented as entertainment, and sexual assault. We have veils on eye injuries, harm to animals, and harm to children. And then 100% enthusiastic consent for graphic gore and hella circus shit. Because the Carnival of Bullets is all centered around, or at least the biggest location in the Carnival of Bullets, as far as influence on the world, is the Big Top. And there is a lot of hella circus shit there. So let's go around the horn and have everyone introduce their characters. Then we'll do start of session moves or time passes moves if they make sense, because we ended on a bit of a cliffhanger. And we'll catch up with our whatever, because we didn't get to see what whatever was up to last week. So let's start from the left-hand side of the character keeper, heading to the right. Alex, introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
Hi, I'm Alex. I use he, him, and I'm playing Marilyn, the operator, the new champion of the electric circuits, who is now very into using this for profit and for his own ends. And he's quite self-serving and a bit of a dickhead, but he does try and occasionally look out for his friends.
Nice. Jan, you're up.
My name is Jan. I use he and pronouns. I will be playing Screwloose, the gear cutter. Screwloose doesn't make a lot of difference whether you're man or machine. It's all the same. He's creative, curious, distracted, inventive, obsessive, and restless. And he's got some new toys. Drones.
Yes, he does. He's armed with hundreds of questions. Thank you very much, Jan. Jen, you're up.
Hey there, I am playing Dex the Medic, who uses she, her pronouns, just like I do. She runs a joint called Remedy, where you can get your hair done, you can have a color job, you can get a cut, you can get bullets removed, You can get a tooth pulled. You can get sutured right back up with the smallest stitches you've ever seen. And she's been sort of exhaling now that Marilyn has survived the electric circuit, as well as Screw Loose and whatever.
Thank you much. Jen and Sabine, welcome back. Introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
Hi, I'm Sabine. I'm using any pronouns, and I'm playing whatever, who also uses any pronouns because whatever. She uses the volatile playbook. She has a lot of weapons. She likes using, no, not precisely likes, she feels safe with lots of weapons. And being safe is rather important to her because otherwise you get murdered. That's not fun. Yeah, and she's quite good at getting into trouble and getting out of trouble. Yeah, and session before last, I think, she realized that she had struck a deal with someone, and then that person had gone back on that deal, and now she's a bit on the warpath.
Very cool. So, according to my notes, there was a question out there, I think, that Dex had from a rollover. Did we ask that at the end? I thought we saved it, right? Okay, good. So was that pointed to Ariel or is it pointed to?
Huh?
Okay, who was it pointed to? I can't remember the question.
Marilyn.
Okay, cool.
And I should just.
Do you have?
Yeah, I have it. So, Marilyn, is Marilyn aware that he's like a brother to Dex?
Yeah, I think he is, because I think he very much feels like it's like a little, dysfunctional, but it's there.
I mean, it's better than the.
I think they're like the same age, but I think he sees Dex as an older sister, and he feels like Dex gets discounts on discounts. That's a big thing.
It's true love.
Yeah. So yeah. I think from their time scavenging and having even though I do actually have a sister, I don't see her as a sister.
She's kind of not.
No. Oh yeah.
Cool.
Nice. And then I see from the chats that there's also another question.
I get to ask a question of Screwloose. I don't know if you've been asked any questions before from a rollover. I don't want to repeat it.
Screwloose has had a few, yeah. But
Okay.
go ahead and we'll find out.
Okay. So I would want to know what achievement, what repair, or what build are you the most proud of?
Oh, that's definitely the whirly the whirly rig, the Marilyn's ride.
We can call it the whirly rig. It was the whirly gig, but whirly rig.
Yes.
We called it the rig.
Fair enough. It's a pretty good ride.
I mean, it's one of his closest friends, we found out from my last question.
Yes.
Indeed. Quite a shocker. Cool. Just to check in, I think the answer is no, but I'd rather ask to make sure. Does anyone have any start of session? Oh, yeah, 6 cents. We should definitely do that.
Mm-hmm.
So let's have that happen.
Cool.
I've got one, but I think feels like it's not.
Maybe we do that
work,
like in mid-session if we can get past the class.
If there's a time jump, maybe, but I think otherwise I would skip mine.
Cool.
All right, gonna roll sharp.
Well, you guys are due for a good roll after the 2 tests. Oh my! That is not a good roll.
Yeah.
What happens on a miss? I don't recall you ever having rolled a miss on this.
I believe the first time I rolled it, I got a miss.
On your miss, your sixth sense makes you paranoid and mistrustful. Choose another player's character and take -1 to your HX with them. Oh,
Hmm.
goodness.
I mean,
Wait,
You
don't you
What is
roll over with whatever?
Yeah,
if you
what if
roll
you roll
nicely?
out?
I should
Do it. Do it.
I should do that. I should reset to 0 with whatever.
That's
Ha,
awesome. Clever. Oh, sixth sense. You thought you had Dex, but Dex outwitted you. Nice.
Yep. Take that.
Good.
And
So
I mark XP on a rollover, right?
you do.
All
You
right.
mark XP on a rollover.
Wow. So that actually nets me an advance.
A super profitable 6.
Yep. Best 6 ever. Goodness. Y'all, should I get a life support infirmary deal going?
I mean, you don't have to take it right to submit it if you want to ponder it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Weren't you getting like some like machinery built specifically for that? Kind of like you were working towards that in the fiction a bit. I know there's the blood, keeping the blood cool and all that.
I was talking some stuff. There's been a time skip, so it's not difficult for me to go, and in the meantime, I did this. So yeah, it's something to noodle on. We'll see, because I might, desperately want to cash in this advance to buy a move that'll save my life, maybe.
there you go.
Later. We'll see.
Awesome. So we pick up at the big top, and like there's a filter over our look that we know this was what we had seen last session, and we see the acrobatic guy, super muscular, is building this tower of chairs, and we see Marilyn up on the throne, and then the camera focuses on whatever, because we don't know what happened with whatever, whatever wanted to do during this time. So you had an advance that you'd taken during the interim, Sabine, for whatever.
Yeah.
So let's set this up. What does this look like, you taking this move leadership here?
Yeah, as I said, I've got some beef to grind. Is that a right expression? I don't know, but you probably understand what I mean. So I mean, that's the one who went back on her on our deal.
Mm-hmm.
She comes to I forget the name of it. It's a strip mall. She comes to the strip mall a lot, right? So I probably just know. I'll figure out where she comes from. Then I'll lie in wait with my trusted sniper rifle to take her out, because I don't do that.
Yeah, so we follow whatever as she, on her prosthetic leg, just huffs it back from Big Top towards Rich still doesn't have it memorized yet. One of these days.
Strip mall.
To strip mall, but it was in Solomon's Wager. I'm about to see.
Oh, okay. Yeah, true.
To strip mall and Solomon's Wager, you set up your big honking sniper rifle and lie in wait. And Dust Witch.
Just one question: was this directly after the electric circuit?
Yeah, like that's where we started last session. So we're just we're about to skip some time. Is that okay, or did you have a different time?
I think I would have just because Dex told me I should recover before I did anything strenuous, and I would have taken that time, because you never know. Things can get wrong, and then I can get strenuous, and then she'll give me this look, and yeah, that's the kind of look I try to. Yeah, exactly that one. Yeah.
So then, at a different time, we jump forward a bit of time. This would be a bit before the meeting in Dusk Way, where Ariel was heading out to perform at Dusk Way. So this would be, again, still in Solomon's Wager, but whatever, you've set yourself up, and sure, you're keeping a watchful eye on Strip Mall, but they don't realize that you're doing so because you're not waiting for anyone but one person. And finally, you see Dustwitch. She comes walking up to Strip Mall with DQ and a couple of her other members of her gang, and it's just, she is about to cause a bit of trouble. Hey, Tyler, welcome.
Tyler, hey.
Sorry, I got caught behind a brick.
Oh goodness, I hope everybody was okay in
Oh
the
yeah.
wreck.
I don't know. I have no idea, but it's.
Hope it's just a fender bender. That's
Yeah.
Whew. Okay, cool. So we're in the middle of a thing, and I'll catch you up in just a second, Tyler. But we're figuring out whatever was up to, and whatever Sabine has purchased leadership. So we're figuring out how that susses out. So yes, Dustwitch comes walking up with DQ, her second, and a few of the other members of her gang. Looks like they are going to cause some trouble. Tum Tum is there, and yeah. What do you do? What do we see?
I'm lining up my shot. I'm patient like that. I've been waiting for a while now. When I see her coming, I'm lining up my shot. I'm waiting until it looks like this could be it, until there's no distraction, there's nothing in between, no cover, and then I'll take it.
And we see Dustwitch like reaches over into one stall that sells some fresh fruit, and she grabs an apple, opens up her mouth, and that's when the back of her head kind of explodes from the bullet, piercing through gray matter, and everything splatters onto DQ, and she falls. Right?
Mhm.
It's no fuss, no muss. What do you do? Whatever after you've taken out Dustwitch?
I'll shoulder my rifle and get down calmly. It's a bit of a distance, but not too far, I guess. And then I'll saunter up and look at her guys, I guess, and her gals and her pals and
Mhm.
everybody else, and say, this one had a deal with me. Then she decided to change the terms of the deal without consulting me. And I look around and say, just so everybody knows, don't do that. It's a fool move. Just don't do that. If you have a deal, stick to it. Then I look at these Dustwitch guys. Do you want to make a thing about this?
They look between each other, and one of them, who is a little on the heavy set side but hairless. You're not sure if he shaves because he's not wearing a shirt, but he goes, "She's real small." And Diki's, who's got Dustwitch's blood on his chest and his forehead, says, "This is whatever, man. She won the circuit." We don't want to make anything out of this, DQ says, but like, what do we do now?
What do you want to do?
We want to eat.
Oh, fair point. So
Place to
Dustwitch,
sleep.
where do you sleep now?
We have a place over there. It was Dustwitch's, I guess. He looks around. Guess it's ours now.
Yeah, guess so. Yeah, you're working for, what's her name?
Regent?
Regent, right? You're working for Regent.
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay, you want to come work with me? I might need some people. Also, having a place to crash might be nice. So What do you say?
DQ looks over at the others. The chubby, hairless guy kind of stoops down and picks up the apple. Starts to take a bite out of it. What do you do when?
I'm looking at him and I say, "Do you plan paying for that, friend?"
Uh-huh.
Good.
He takes a big bite. There's a little bit of apple juice that runs down the corner of his mouth, creates a little clean streak. And DQ says, yeah, anybody who doesn't want to work for whatever, just go. Right? They can go?
Sure, they can go. Not shooting them in the back. Just know if you come back with grief, I'm ready.
And the chubby one says, could I have a stuff? He looks down at Dustwitch.
I'm looking down at Dustwitch. Well, yeah, I'll go over it first, though.
Cool. Yeah, if you want to pick yourself out some weapon that you don't have,
Ooh, nice.
Dustwitch.
More weapon. Nice.
I mean, why not, right?
Lightsaber. No.
No,
Sorry,
no, grav hammer. No, no, wait, wrong game. So yeah, you now have a gang.
Okay. I will get them to whatever place they have. Our place, my place now, I guess.
Mhm.
I throw out the stuff that Dustwitch had, most of which I will declare as tacky, and the hairless guy can have it if he wants to.
Yeah, the hairless guy's name is Weetabix, and there's a big sign over the garage. They call it Trip A.
Okay, we'll take that down. We're not being Trip A.
No more Trip A. Okay, no more.
No, we get our own sign.
All right. So
yeah.
For a while, they're still going to call this Weetabix or call this Dustwitch's place, but they'll learn. They'll learn.
Yeah. Well, I'll give that gang a name though, because I want to have my own name for the gang, and because whatever is that kind of person, and she has a name, but I have to look it up for a second. Yeah, and I think no, that she wants to call that gang the Hollow Men.
The Hollow Men? Oh,
the
wow.
Hollow Men. Yeah, we are the Hollow Men. We are the stuffed men, leaning together, our pieces filled with straw. And she will tell them, not what it means precisely, because the meaning of that poem is particularly obtuse, but she can recite that. So,
did Sereno teach you that?
No. That
did you teach it to Sereno?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I had whatever has a thing about poetry, and she came. Her old settlement was a settlement of poets and learned people, scholars like that, and they took a bit of literature with them. But I think she learned it from her parent. Cornelia.
Oh, some Valentine, nice. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the poem itself is by T.S. Eliot, of course.
I guess. It's very funny that I'm literally looking at it on my screen right now. So when you said that, I was like, wait, did she mean from? Oh yeah, that's cool. Sorry. Neat. Just like good stuff. All right, cool. I'm going to stick the Hollow Men in as like a different NPC group, just so it's easier for us to track it. I don't know what background to stick for that, but we'll work that out. Awesome. Hey, Tyler. I'm glad that you're okay. Welcome. Sorry it took us a bit to get to you. Let's quickly have you introduce yourself and tell us about your character real quick.
Hi there, I'm Tyler, he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Ariel, who is the happy, pleasant, lighted rainbows and stars of our little group, and she is a pleasant person in a horrible situation who loves singing and dancing with her family, who some call a cult, but no, they shouldn't.
So we jump forward from whatever's bit to the night where at Dusk Carol Way, Ariel and her cabaret had performed admirably, singing a few songs, and headliner Ariel sang Be Our Guest. Their area where they were performing was on a bus, like a school bus that had been converted into a stage, and it was right by a cobblestone building with a heavy pitched roof. And the pitched roof was where, people who Pieces of Eight, the poobah of Dusk Carol Way, had some of his favorite guests. Cat Lady showed up, as did Milk from the Dreaming Heaven Choir, and a number of folks from Dusk Carol Way. Everyone is here, so where do you happen to be in this scene? Just so you're aware, Dusk Carol Way folks are here. There are members of the Dreaming Heaven Choir, Cat Lady, and a number of big cats are here. And there are folks coming from Big Top who seem to be not invited, and there could be trouble.
I mean, there could be trouble and somebody hired me and my guys. I'd be wherever it might make more sense. Like, I would like to hear.
Let's say
Ariel.
Pieces of Eight has hired you to help provide a little bit of security.
Yeah, that's fine. That's my gig. So I'll position my guys and gals. I imagine I have a few.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How many are there? Just
it's default for a gang is 15 from second edition.
Okay.
I'll double check to see if it's different. But it doesn't appear, like it doesn't say there's anything different. So
no, that's just.
We got
Cool.
15. We've got names for a few of them. Name folks as you need them.
Okay. Yeah, fine. Yeah, position them wherever I think makes most sense. Maybe I know some of them a little, like you can't put Weetabix near anything that is food related, because then he'll just cram his face and not pay attention to anything. So what?
I'll go out with my life.
Yes, you will. And I put myself near some place where I think somebody would go if they wanted to make a thing about shooting the artists, which also coincides with the place where you could watch them very well.
Nice.
I'll try to keep my attention divided, I guess.
It won't be easy.
I know.
Nice. And yeah, so Pieces of Eight has just suggested, hey folks, Ariel is our guest as we are hers, but we need to make sure she's taken care of. People are starting to disperse because the announcement that folks from Big Top are here. And Dex had already hopped off the roof, going down a ladder, because Dex is practical that way, and was in the process of grabbing Screwloose as Marilyn, you were trying to make your way off the roof. There was a mention of Marilyn possibly engaging with this particular move that he has that might help out here. Did you want to trigger that now, or?
It may only help Marilyn, but eye on the door, name your escape route, and roll plus cool.
Yep. So what's your escape route?
It's the rig. It's the whirligig. But I think I wouldn't have ridden right up to the seating. I don't think. Well, I might have, but I don't think I would be allowed to. I wonder where it is at the moment. I think I would have put it between like two structures, like out of sight, because
You would have had to
now
have been
fixated on touching it.
You would have need to be fairly close to the stage, because I had to unload all our stuff out of the back of it.
That makes
Your
sense.
point. Okay, maybe it's literally behind the stage.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
It was on a bus, wasn't it?
It was on a
Stage.
bus. Yes.
Yeah. So my escape route is through Ariel's family and to the right behind. I've already told Dex that danger's happening. We should get out of here.
Yes, Dux was already a step ahead of you.
Yeah,
when
she
you
was like
followed
gone
us.
before I turned around to say that. Like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
no.
Not to tell that to my descending hands.
Yeah.
Marilyn had an eye on the door. Dex had her hand on the doorknob.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. She was closing
cool.
the door as I was. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like trying to push through get on ladder, go through the crowds, maybe step over some chairs if some people have cleared out some chairs and beeline through.
Okay.
Up less through.
Sweet. Let's have you roll it, and then I'll make sure that Sabine has an idea of what you're running from in just a moment. Oh my, that is quite a good door looking. On a 10
Well, I'm gone.
You're gone. You're out of here. So
Okay.
are you taking Dex and Screwloose with you? Are you taking, like, what about Ariel and her cabaret? Like, who's going with you there, Marilyn?
I think I would be like yelling to Dex as I go, like, get screw loose. I got 2 seats. And I think the little
You got Tom Tom's cart.
yeah, the cart. And the cart. Whoever gets here in time has a ride. Otherwise, I just keep running.
Nice. Cool. We'll sort out. I'm pretty sure that Dex is gone with you since she was half step ahead of you. We cut to DQ coming up to you, whatever, like grabbing your shoulder, and he says, "Hey, listen, I think they're after." And he points up to the roof where Pieces of 8 is alongside Winkle. Now, do you remember the very brief scene at Remedy where there was someone who came in, was reading one of the magazines, about to get his nails done? It was Winkle, who is a member of Big Top. So DQ explains, I think Winkle burned Big Top, and it looks like Pieces of 8 is going to stand up for him.
Huh. So what burned Big Top like to the ground?
Wait, did you say we're going to go burn Big? Wait, I'm sorry.
No,
what?
I didn't get it. What he meant when he said Winkle burned Big Top. What did he mean?
Oh, sorry. Winkle did something to Big Top.
Oh,
I don't see how DQ would know the whys and wherevers.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Yeah, he's just kind of pieced together. He's heard that Winkle pissed off Big Top big time.
Okay.
And now they're coming after him. And Pieces of 8's got this whole hospitality thing or whatever. And I guess he's going to stand up for him.
Yeah.
And he hired us, so we're all going to die. Maybe we should just go.
No, we don't. I mean, how many are there?
And you kind of scan through in between all the trees of Dusk Arrow Way. You count 1 pair of headlights, 2 pairs of headlights, 3 pairs of headlights.
A lot of them there.
And it's not like race cars coming up. It's like like vans, not quite a clown.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a lot of guys.
I'll go up to Pieces of 8, right?
Yeah, it's what I hired you for.
Yeah. So are we making a stand or are we retreating?
You guys make a stand for a bit to buy us time.
Fair
My
enough.
people are bugging out. And then once we're gone, whatever happens. Okay?
Yeah. So go.
And he slaps, like literally just turns and slaps Winkle and then grabs him by the collar and drags him, and they start heading into that cobblestone house. And you can see there's like a ladder, and they're like going down into some kind of underground bunker or possibly some tunnels or something. And yeah, sure enough, you see that there's a large FTD florist van this coming bounding up towards is Marilyn. You're ready to take off. Like Ariel, I don't think you can get everybody loaded up onto this cart before Marilyn's out of here. Norval's shoving you into the cart. You gotta go. We'll stand here.
Absolutely not.
Just pick your favorites and go on.
I will give a very unpleasant look towards Maryland. And
Look, you can stay if you want. I'm just saying.
I'm looking around. I have Cyrano, Flotsam Jetsam. And that's all that's with me besides the gang.
You didn't bring the kids?
No, all I had was Cyrano and backup dancers for me.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense, right? You know,
I mean,
not the full
I'm
cabaret.
not bringing
traveling.
kids out here to the middle of.
Totally,
Right.
yeah, I'm with it. I completely agree. I was just checking in. I wasn't.
And I think the thing was, I think we had an issue with how much space was going to be. So it was Norval and 2 gang. Now, that means I've got 6 plus me, 7. How's that going to fit now that you picked up passengers? On, by the way, my fare. How much can fit? How we fitting in here now? I've already said I'm leaving equipment.
Fictionally, the fiction I think the metafiction decides that not quite all of them.
Yeah, I think that's the way. I think if you grab all your dancers and leave the gang behind, there's one person that probably can't clamber up or might fall off at some point if things get hairy.
All right, I'm going to.
I will say we're going to leave faster than we arrived. It's going to get bumpy.
I get Cyrano, Flotsam, and Jetsam, get on board, and I look around and I'm scanning to see if I see Cat Lady and Princess or Princess.
You do see both of them. Cat Lady has kind of like, there are no cats around. They seem to have faded off into the forest.
I bet they haven't gone far.
The Cat Lady's kind of dwelling in a shadow underneath the eaves of the cobblestone building, watching, just keeping an eye on you. Princess, she has that, remember she was carrying that weird cloud sword thing. And you hear a low hum emanating from it right now. And she is kind of glancing back at you, but keeping very, very close eye on Big Top approaching.
Okay. I'm going to make a motion towards her, kind of asking her to draw here as I jump down with Norval and my gang. We will go out together. Maryland, if you would please take my performers.
Really? Well, okay. No. Getting everything.
Nice. Norval says, Are you sure, Ariel?
I fight with my people.
Okay.
And I will pull out my extremely ornately engraved handgun. I've got a nice looking 6-shooter that I will pull out.
Like a pearl handle kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. Very cool. Mother of pearl handle. Beautiful silver 6-shooter.
Awesome. While I'm getting like the rig set up, I think I would be like looking around or, trying to look over past the bus through the windows, see where Dex and Grulus are, and also to keep an eye out on other people thinking that this is their escape route as well. It ain't.
Okay. So then Dex, Screw, you guys are on the bird seats, the catbird seats there, and the no shocks whatsoever in the tum-tum cart is getting pulled behind with a bunch of dancers who are frightened and worried and crying for Ariel as you drive away, and Sweet, you're gone.
Screwloose will definitely tell Therese to stay there, out of sight, and keep an eye on things.
Also, who's got on with me? Did any? I mean, I kind of.
I think it's
zoned out
Screw
for a second,
Loose
I'll
and
check something.
Dex are going with you. They're riding in the either side of the
No.
axles, and then
Flotsam,
Ariel
Jetsam,
had-
and
Flotsam. Yeah.
and
Anyone trying to get
Sierra.
on, or like that I don't want?
Oh,
on?
that's a great question. Yes, of course there are. It's totally there's some like Duskhair Away people who like grab on the sides of the cart and they're trying to clamber up, and Flotsam's like pushing. No, it's ours. And Jetson comes over with like, I don't know, a baton, like a like a baton that a marionette, like a band major might have. It like starts whacking the guy as he's trying to climb in. What do you do when you see that, Marilyn?
I think I don't usually take out the gun, but I think I take out the revolver that's like hidden away. You know, you can't really, little glove compartment underneath the steering stuff.
Are you confronting someone?
Yeah,
See it.
yeah, I would like. They would be like clamoring, and then they would just like feel like the revolver butt against the head and the click of the thing.
Well, you get to roll with aggro,
Yeah.
Marilyn.
Yes, which I've got a -1, so
Yeah,
I'm
you
looking
do.
forward to.
So am I.
I got a 4.
You have a 4.
I got a 4, yeah.
Why'd you roll with a -2? It still would give you a 5, but I'm curious why you put a -2 in there. Was there a -1 extra to your aggro? Regardless, it would have been a 5. So still a miss. And you get to check the XP on aggro, so don't forget that. And on a miss, I get to make a move. Yeah. So what happens is the guy sees that and he makes a sudden move. So you reflexively pull the trigger and it just click, nothing. It's dud. The bullet is no good. The guy grabs your weapon and he hauls it. He like throws it away. And then he climbs into the cart and looks like he's about to shove either Flotsam or Jetsam out of the cart to make way for himself. Screw Loose, Dex, you guys see this fight that's going on in the cart. And I imagine, Maryland, you're driving, right?
Yeah. Just muttering under my breath and like, somebody else deal with that. Keep driving and hopefully it'll be dealt with.
If you do nothing, either Flotsam or Jetsam will get shoved out of this cart, and this guy who from Duskhair Away will be riding in the cart and threatening everybody else to just stay back, stay the fuck back.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can stun gun him.
Nice. You're going blazing then. You're just going to shoot the guy, right?
Yep.
Roll plus aggro. Which also is -1 for you.
Yeah, but I did real good.
Nice. You
Wow.
sure did.
Maximum on dice. It's just
Box cars -1 is still real good. So on a 10 plus, choose 2. Inflict terrible doesn't make sense on the gun you've got, so don't suffer harm in return. Expose or create a weakness or take something from your opposition. You get 2 of those. What do you want?
I mean, don't suffer harm and take something is probably the correct thing.
All right, so it's a thing where he grabs Maryland's gun, tosses it. He's about to shove Flotsam out, and he just and the guy falls back, and then Jetsam like grabs him, does the thing like ducking underneath, and Flotsam pushes him, and he falls out of the cart. Bam, landing on his back. Meanwhile, Maryland, you're racing through Duskhair Away, leaving everyone else behind, taking your people to safety. So whatever, and Ariel, things are getting louder. And yes,
I wonder if the weapon I took from Dustwitch could be another grenade, just for giggles,
sure,
because it worked so well last time.
it did. It definitely paid off.
So, yeah.
So you've got a grenade, yeah.
I've got a grenade, and I'm waiting for the right moment to throw the grenade at the oncoming enemies. I mean, I don't basically what I want to do is more like scare them or make them a little cautious, because I'm buying time, and that seems like a good move. If they don't think they have to, if they think they should be a bit more cautious about approaching, that's what I want to do. I don't want to injure anybody that comes later, but just make them a little more cautious.
Well, a grenade does this kind of harm that's unique to Burned Over called environ harm, which means that it does effectively 4 harm to anyone in an area. But you're not using it to actively harm. It sounds like you're using it to confront someone, right? To get them to back down. And if you're successful, then we know that Maryland has already successfully eye on the door, so they're gone. But this would buy significant time for everyone in Dusk Caraway, and then you guys got to figure out what you want to do after that. So let's see how that goes.
Yeah, that's with aggro, right?
It is.
Okay, so it's a +2. Throwing a grenade. Roly. Sorry. Oh, it's an 11.
Oh my.
Look at that.
Yeah, 6, 3, and 2 is a pretty darn good roll. So go ahead, and if you haven't marked the XP for aggro, do that. And with that move on a 10+, they have to choose back down and give you your way, defy you and fight back, or else submit to your mercy and ask you to reconsider. And what you're effectively asking for is for them to back off, to realize, hey, this is a grenade. We're about to stick our nose in something that could be real bad. And yeah, the explosion knocks out one of the headlights on the front van, and it stops. A couple of trees fall down because grenade, right? And then there's a bit of silence, a bunch of dirt that's gone up into the air.
We're following this up with gunfire.
Oh, okay.
Again, not targeted, just to make them know, yeah, this is defended. You're not going in for easy pickings. So I've told my guys to just fire up some stuff, and because we're really just buying time here.
Nice.
And if I see that Ariel's still around, I'll look at her and I say, "Girl, what are you still doing here? Everybody's leaving."
If you look over towards me, I would like to first off kind of take a look around. Is Princess coming over to join?
She's standing right beside you. Like it's Norville on one side and Princess on the other.
Okay, I give a quick scan then. So can I read a sitch?
You certainly can.
Thank you. A read a charged. So rolling with sharp, which my sharp is a 1, plus I get to add 1 for my size, so +2. All right. So that's a 9.
Okay.
All right. And so I think I get to ask 1. I will ask, what's my best way through this without us getting shot?
I mean, so this was if Winkle dies, this is over. Secondarily, if Pieces of 8 could get Winkle to choose to leave, this is over. Otherwise, the staff, the roadies for Big Top are gonna mess stuff up.
Well, I mean, I'm looking more. Okay, I'm looking more along the lines of good space for us to get cover and get leaving this place.
Cool. So best way through is they know where Winkle is and you aren't there.
Okay. Then I look towards Princess Norval. All right, we're moving that direction. Stay under cover. Everyone, quick, quiet. We're getting out of here. And then as whatever kind of says this to me, I think that the performance is over and we will be leaving now.
Pity, but you are really good. You are real good.
Thank you. No. We really do have to go. My ride seemed to find others to take out, so I'm afraid that we're going to have to hoof it. Please be careful, whatever.
I'm always careful.
I hope so, and I'll reach out and kind of take your hand. When this is over, come and see me. Let's have tea.
Good enough. I don't think you can take my hand. I'm hands on the guns, but you can take my arm or shoulder.
There we go.
Or
Yeah, I'll
something.
kind of pat at you.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
fine. I look at you like a, but it's Ariel. You have to make allowances for her touching people.
I am a touchy person.
I know. I glare at you a little and say, yeah, but no touching.
Yeah, I think DQ was waiting for you to chop off limbs or something, but you don't. And that he just mutters to himself, shape without form, shade without color, paralyzed force, gesture without motion.
Oh,
And it is time for whatever to do battle.
yes, and
Hey.
we're moving.
Yeah,
Good call.
yeah.
When you enter into battle with another gang or larger force, exchange harm. But first, roll plus hard.
Okay.
Now, this is a medium gang. You've got a small gang.
I've got 2 small gangs.
That's true, because you have Ariel's people with you for now.
No,
at least in this exchange.
I'm a small gang myself.
Yeah. I don't know if that stacks, but it's fine. So we'll say you guys are effectively on same scale for at least this first encounter here.
Okay. Because otherwise I would have 2 advancements that don't work together.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
And
For now,
that's
we'll
a
just say that it stacks, and
Yeah.
I'll consult stuff
Okay.
later. And if we need
Yeah.
to juggle things around, we will. That's fine.
Okay, that's a 7.
Okay, on a 7 to 9, you bid 3, and it's an NPC, so I'll bid 2 against you on any hit. So I have the move do battle selected on the moves tab if you want to take a look at those
Yeah,
options.
I'm already looking.
And
I think I will fight defensively. Definitely because, and guard someone.
okay.
Because they need to
And
get away.
Who you'll bid 1 to protect an ally you specify from harm.
Yeah, like, they're probably out of reach anyway, but I want to protect Pieces of 8 and Winkle.
Nice. They're not
Because-
quite completely out, so that would be a very effective thing.
That's what I've been hired for, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I would again fight defensively. Okay, and I can choose something twice, right? I can say I will fight
Yes, you can.
defensively twice. I will fight defensively twice because, come on, we're not out to kill people of Big Top. That would make things awkward. I don't want to start a war here.
Okay. So they are going to they have 2 bids, and it is fight for blood, bidding 1 to inflict +1 harm, and seize initiative. They have bid more for seizing initiative, which means that if the battle continues, they'll take +1 bid against the enemy into the next round. So that's what they're going to. Okay. So you see a number of face painted roadies and staff from Big Top come screaming through the trees because they stopped the van. And yeah, they're fighting for blood. They are effectively, you guys are equal size. They're 3 harm, 2 armor. So they bid 1 to push that up to 4 harm.
Okay.
So that's 4 harm against we didn't define what the armor was for your gang. We need to quickly define that. Checking in, Alex, how much longer are you able to stay with us? I know you need to leave early.
We're staying exactly an hour.
Okay. So your character will be NPC'd. And thank you for playing with us. Sorry it was a little on a short side for you for the session today.
No, an hour from now.
An hour from now. I thought you said it ought to be now. I'm sorry.
No, sorry. Hour from now.
Oh, good. I've got you for a
Yes.
whole more hour. Well, I'm going to jump back to you in just a second.
Mm.
Let's say that you're a 2 right now. Well, God, I don't know. I should have looked this up. You even told us this. I should have already had it looked up. I apologize.
It's okay. It doesn't say in the advancements what
Yeah,
kind of gang that is.
it
So
doesn't. I may have to drop back to second edition and grab what the default for the chopper is. I'm going to do that now. So let me pull that up.
What are we looking for?
What a starter gang looks like. So
Well, you
by
can look
default,
at mine.
oh, that would have been smart. 2 harm gang, small savage, 1 armor. Okay, cool. So I'm going to drop this in. Could have looked at yours. Could have done that the whole time. There we go. All right. So you've got 1 armor. It's 4 harm coming your way because they went blood, but you defensed twice. So it goes 4 to 3 to 2. You went 1 armor, so it's 1 harm coming through.
Okay.
And gang to gang harm means that a gang taking 1 harm is light wounds. No one's going to be pushed past anything like 6 o'clock. Yeah, that first foray, we have a number of the folks infiltrating, coming in, trying to get closer to the bus. A few of them have lined up by the cobblestone building and are firing back at you guys. A lot of your folks, whatever, from your gang are lined up in the bus themselves. Princess is near you, Ariel and Norvell. You guys are what, doing 1 exchange and then trying to cut into the forest and get lost?
Exactly.
Okay, sounds good. So you're in for this exchange. We'll say that there's effectively 1 harm coming to your small gang, Ariel, as you guys are leaving. So
We'll all bounce.
yeah, you guys will all bounce. Let's go ahead and see how well you do that in bouncing. So you're acting on information that you have to you have the situation. So let's have you act under fire with a +1 from that read a sitch. So you'll roll plus cool.
Okay.
And you're pretty cool.
Oh, I'm darn cool. Let's see. It didn't save my rolls. All right. So I'm rolling with +1.
Same thing happened to Jan, but it saved mine. That's weird. Yeah, so a total of +3.
Okay, so I got a 9.
Okay, on a 7 to 9, you flinch, hesitate, or stall. The MCU can offer you a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or unfortunate choice.
Okay.
I think the unfortunate choice is that Norval and Princess are both kind of staying back, trying to cover for the rest of the gang, and especially you. And you realize that you're going to need to leave one of the 2 of them behind. So who do you grab and who stays?
Oh, that is a hard choice.
Do you want me to give you a moment?
Give me a moment.
All right. Let's jump forward to Maryland, Dex, and Screwloose. You have repelled borders and are now racing towards the north side of Dusk Harrow Way. Dusk Harrow Way, this pathway, if we look at the map.
Had we ditched the guy?
Yeah, he got stunned.
Okay.
He got stunned by Dex.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. So coming out of this part of Dusk Harrow Way, I think you're headed kind of between Neon Blossoms and Primordial Fields. Which of those 2 where of those 2 areas would you like to go, Marilyn?
Yeah, not the Primordial Fields.
Okay. So Neon Blossoms, which
Yeah.
is not Primordial Fields, is where you'll be going. Sweet. So you ride through this kind of swampy forest, making your way towards the much smoother roads, the flying cars, all the nice tech. And Dex, you start to hear that normal ping that you do when you come to Neon Blossom, and your vision tells you that you need 26 updates. Also, who did you choose to lose HX with?
Oh, whatever.
That's right. Rolled it out. That's right. Sorry.
No worries.
Left my mind. Cool. Yeah. So you're getting a note that you need 26 updates, that the number of updates that you have means that your system will need to do a restart. But several of them are high security, 0-day exploits. What do you do, Dex, when you get that note?
Well, no matter what I choose to act on, it's possible to notice me like sort of growling and swatting at my vision.
I love it.
Even though it's been long enough, I know it doesn't work. I know that it doesn't mean anything. I'm just frustrated.
Nice. And screw your drones.
And I'm like, update.
You do it. All right. So you take the update. Yeah, your vision is going to be extremely blurry to sometimes not all there for the next bit. I'm going to give you kind of a -1 ongoing for anything that's site related until the updates finish. Okay?
Okay.
Cool. Screw loose. Your drones are following behind you, I assume. Yes?
Well, 2 of them.
Leaving one behind to watch over Dusk Carroll Way?
Yep.
Nosy thing, you. I love it. Cool. Though your drones give you alerts that there are other drones headed your way, coming from Neon Blossoms. What do you do?
I'll just sort of turn awkwardly in my seat and go like, Marilyn, we have friends coming.
Friends or, murder friends?
Possibly murder. I don't know yet. I can send Uno ahead.
That would be good.
Do you want to use your drones?
I send my flying drone out ahead.
Okay. And I think you get to read a sitch with those drones, right?
Yes.
Let's see how that goes.
Do, of course, I'll need to read it. Read it. Sharp. Oh, dice roller is so stressful. So it's very slow. It's a 9.
Okay, cool. With a 9, you get 1 question, but then you get like 16 on top of that, I think.
Yeah, not quite 16, but yes. So I will start with, what does my hover drone see and hear?
Awesome. Your hover drone sees a did Screw Loose see Clarion during the electric circuit? I think that was all dealt with before you came whistling around. So
laser guy?
Yes, laser guy. Hold on, let me go edit the NPC sheet.
I've heard about him, but not seen him.
Okay, heard about him, not seen him. So you see laser guy riding a cybernetic donkey. It's going real fast.
All right. Sorry. Cybernetic donkey, yes.
Hey, listen, donkey cyborgs was fiction you guys put into this world. I'm just using it. I'm blameless when it comes to donkey cyborgs.
Yeah, no, it's
blameless.
Fine. I mean,
Hashtag this one's not on me. All right, so donkey cyborg riding towards you. That's what your hover drone sees right now, along with other drones that are coming towards your smaller ones, slightly newer.
Well, that's takes care of the question of what poses the biggest threat.
Laser guy on cyber
Yes,
cyborg
exactly.
donkey. Yeah.
That's, I got that, so I didn't need to ask that. That was going to be my next question, and now I have to go like, oh wait, no, that's not. No,
I
no.
always give too much info.
Yes, you do. Ooh. Wait, let's see, because I also have. No, that's. Oh, it's a free additional question as well, so I can just ask, what's the most useful, valuable, or mysterious thing here? I mean, I'm guessing it's Cyber Donkey.
Cyber donkey's incredibly useful. It never gets tired. It can carry a great deal of weight.
I mean, I kind of want the Cyber Donkey now anyway. And then I have one more from just actually having a success.
What? You mean the move actually does something for you too?
Yes. Okay. Who or what represents the best opportunity for me to get control of that Cyber Donkey?
If Clarion is not riding the Cyber Donkey, that is your best bet for taking the Cyber Donkey. Because I can't remember, what is that rule? Rule 46 or something? Like if you say a thing, it's on the internet somewhere. There's a picture of a Cyber Donkey, kind of.
Then I'll definitely go to my probably not friendly.
Can I actually start to see?
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah, looking up ahead, you see that there's like a fine mist, because in Neon Blossoms they actually have sprinklers, and the sprinklers are on right now because they like to keep their grass nice and hydrated. But coming through the sprinklers, riding a cybernetic donkey, is a guy with a laser rifle.
murder friends. Heads up, guys. We got what's the thing called, Dex, again? The
What's the what?
Laser.
death sunbeam thing.
It's called a laser. Oh, you mean the person with the laser? I don't know.
Is there somebody with a laser? I can't see.
It's
The
a
guy from the
laser.
race.
Nice. I love
Also-
that.
Also a Cyber Donkey, by the way.
Sweet. I think that is our like capper where we cut to commercial. The I can't see. Also, they have a cyber donkey. That is pretty great. Sweet. So let's take a quick bio. All right. We jump back to Dusk Carol Way in the fight at the cobblestone house. Ariel, who gets left behind?
Oh, you are an evil, evil man, Rich Rogers. So we are, I'm guessing it's kind of a situation where we're pinned down, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You
Okay.
guys pinned down. There's like maybe you're behind a log and returning fire, and there's an entire van of big toppers who are pressing in on you, and you can hear that one of them say something on it's like, "Get the mortar."
Ooh, okay. I move up to Princess. Princess, you know this area, right?
Yes.
We're gonna need some sort of distraction if we're gonna get out of here. Can you take care of that while we run?
Yes.
And I'm gonna lean in and kind of get close up to her ear. Come back to me safe. And I'm gonna kiss her on the cheek as I look over. Norval, we move when Princess says go.
And she closes her eyes in that moment after the kiss, savoring it. until the warmth disappears in the cool night. And then she springs up, and you hear the hum of that sword grow louder and brighter. And she's running towards these guys to buy you some time. Norval is going to carry you if you don't move on your own, because she's
Well, I
doing
like
it. She's
it.
buying. We got to go.
I like the image of me standing there watching this in horror as he grabs me to haul me away.
Nice. I like it too. Sweet. So let's slip over to whatever. And you, in that first bit, there was a swap of harm, right? So your group has taken a little bit of harm, one harm spread across the gang and yourself. And
I take one harm as well then, or does that is that caught up in my armor?
It would be caught up in your armor, which means you'd be okay.
Okay, so
right, because you've got 2 armor.
I have
so it would
2
take
armor,
you down to neg 1, right? So you wouldn't even need to roll the harm move. You're
That's
okay.
nice. Cool.
So
Okay.
they're streaming in. You see that one of the vans is kind of has pulled off, and they seem to be pursuing Ariel. And there's some kind of weird light show that's going on over that way. But one large touring bus and a van have come up on you guys. That's the medium gang. They have taken a lot of casualties in that first bit, but you were fighting defensively. So they're still pressing in. You see that the trapdoor closes because you were guarding. The trapdoor in the cobblestone house closes, and then you see a small explosion and the house collapses.
Okay. I guess that's our signal to go.
Yeah. That's your signal to go.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and have you do battle. Remember, they chose one bid to take initiative, so they're going to get an extra choice in this swap. So go ahead and I need you to roll plus
hard.
Aggro. Wait, let me double check.
No, plus hard. It's plus hard.
You're right.
Battle is plus hard.
You're right.
No.
Sorry. I know you know that you sounded right, just saying yes as you said.
See how that goes. This is not a very fast. Oh, it doesn't go well. It's a 6. There's nobody here to help out, right? No, probably not. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think Ariel kind of ducked out that last round.
That's fine. So it goes badly.
Yes. On a miss, you still get to bid 1 against them.
Okay. Is there a bid that will enable me to get away, basically?
Let's see.
I mean, I could seize initiative, right?
Yeah, I think seizing initiative, whoever bids more can do several things, of which could be take a quick action of any kind for free while your enemy is off balance, and that could allow you to go. You also could use that to ask one read a sitch, and there's one like, what's my best way out? And then I can act on that the next time around.
Yeah, so I guess that's my best option.
Okay.
Yeah, well.
Cool. So on a miss, let's see. They get 3 against you on a miss, and they got a 4th one. This is going to be a pretty rough.
Yeah.
This is going to be a pretty rough go of things. So, hey, we hadn't named all of these guys, so some of them are wearing red shirts, and those hollow men will be forgotten, and hopefully you can build back.
Yeah.
So, with the 2 harm, 1 armor, they were going blood 3 times and trying to their plan was to try to seize hold of the cobblestone building. That unfortunately is wasted because it explodes around them. In fact, maybe one of the big toppers runs inside just as it explodes, and so that one's wasted. But that is 3 harm plus their normal harm coming towards you. You have one choice. You're going to take the seize initiative. So are you asking the read a sitch of your best way out? You guys going to try to cut and run? Is that the plan with whatever?
Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
Awesome.
go. Let's go. I mean,
Cool.
we're obviously overmatched here.
Yeah, they overrun the area. You
Mhm.
lose a number of your newfound gang.
Oh,
And
well, too bad.
Sabine, I got to tell you,
Hmm?
it's
Yeah,
a miss. It's a miss, which means that Weetabix survives. I'm sorry to
good.
tell you.
I like him. It's fine. I mean, whatever would never admit that, but she likes him. Kind of likes him too. He's a bit gross, but has to be heart somewhere under this whole hairless chest.
Yeah.
Oh, and I've rolled a lot of heart here. I'll mark XP for that.
Cool. And I think you're going to take some harm too.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and say
think so.
you kind of math it out. It should be. And then you got 1 arm. So you are taking 3 harm. Go ahead
Okay.
and make the harm move. So you'd be rolling 2d6. Rich. Oh, it's right there,
Plus
Rich.
the harm suffered, right?
Minus the harm you suffered. So
minus
you're
the
going to roll
harm
2d6
suffered.
minus 3. Ouch.
That's the 3 harm I take is after I've subtracted the armor.
Right, because
So okay.
it's basically a lot of.
So it's
and
5
then-
harm,
it was
but
5 that was coming your way. Yes,
so
this
I'm
was
rolling
ugly
minus
mess.
3. Okay. That's not great, but you know.
See how it goes. Oh yes, that is
wow.
actually a die rolled. You've rolled a 3 minus 3 is a 0.
Wow. Okay. That's actually really bad.
I haven't seen that in a while. So
Yeah. Well.
don't forget to mark your XP for rolling the harm
Yes.
move.
Okay.
On a miss, the MC chooses 1.
Mhm.
I think if you're okay with it,
Mhm.
You effectively get taken out of action.
Okay.
Let's say that there's a huge explosion as a whistling sound comes over your head, and it's the kind of thing to knock you off your feet. You get slammed into a tree.
Oh.
And you still just take the 3 harm, so you should be at 9 o'clock, I believe.
Yeah.
But it's
Okay.
enough to send your senses reeling. You hear the sound, the brah, brah, brah of a few machine guns as some of your guys are sprayed and hurt. But then you're brought out of that dazed sensation by DQ as he crawls over to you and he says, "Weetabix found a way out. Let's go this way."
Yeah, I'll let him drag me off.
Cool. So he helps you, and you guys have to belly crawl your way out of there. And we'll say at this point, you've lost 5 members, like a third of your gang,
Oh, okay.
straight up dead. The rest of them all harmed about as bad as you. So where do you and the remnants of your gang go? Are you going to try to circle back to Remedy? You want to go somewhere else to hide out?
I mean, I
the
thought
Carnelian vampire, I always want to say vampire, Valentine would welcome you with open arms.
Fuck no. I'm not that badly hurt, I hope, that we need to go there. No, I thought we go to a circus show in Big Top. No, we're going to Remedy. Come on. We're going to Remedy.
Okay. Cool. So let's cut back to Maryland. Screwloose says there's a donkey. Dex says she can't quite see. You see the guy with the shining light show gun, and he's headed your way, but then he stops, and his donkey's kind of turned to the side, and he's pulled up that big rifle. What do you do, Marilyn?
Oh, I mean, he remembers what he drove through.
A lot of severed bodies and mess.
What's distance?
Say he's 40 meters
I think I look back at Dex and give a kind of, did I do something stupid? Look. Ride him down.
Yes.
No. No.
I saw the Dex shaking head. No, don't do it. And I was like, yep, no, I'm doing it.
No.
Dex, like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah, it goes
literally
from
convinced me.
gestural to audible.
Suddenly
The
I'd be like,
good news is that your vehicle does a lot of harm to him, probably.
yeah, I suffer one less damage. And
I
deal
know,
one
this
less
is
more damage
all
with combat
good.
driver.
It's a
I
great
just
idea.
have to get a roll that is not awful.
I would like to help.
So ask Marilyn how you can help.
I would like to probably help by like making the vehicle just go that little extra bit, a little bit faster, a little bit harder.
Doing the slit special of like squirting some stuff into your mouth and spitting it into the engine. All right, cool. Go ahead and roll plus HX. Screw loose.
That is. Oh, by the way, I think I should have that roll in my. Yes, it's correct. It's an 8.
Okay. So I will go ahead and go with our normal and take a +1.
Yeah, I will roll. Well, it went to a 7.
Nice. That help definitely paid off. Great. So you went going blazing, right? We're all on the same page with the move.
Going blazing. Yeah.
Okay. On a hit, inflict harm and suffer harm in return. On a 7 to 9, you get to choose one. Inflict terrible harm, expose or create a weakness, take something from your opposition.
I don't get to choose. Oh, that's evil. I like it, but it's evil. I'm going to go inflict terrible harm. Then.
Sweet. That's pretty great.
On top of combat driver and.
Oh, right. So wait.
I should have been adding something.
Yes. Let's go look at that real quick. Combat driver, we use your vehicle as a weapon, inflict +1 harm. We inflict V harm +1. So.
But should I also be rolling with plus my massive?
Oh, you should. Yes.
So,
I don't think that would push you up to the next tier. You went to a 7 +2 from massive makes it a 9.
yeah,
But still, we should do all the things. The good news is, does this say -1 armor or 1 armor?
I edited it to be -1 armor because we lost a lot of stuff trying to go faster. Keep operational.
You remember that? That's a bummer.
Yeah, so I made a change.
Yeah.
Making my vehicle worse.
That's a real shame. Sweet. So the good news is that's a lot of harm, right? Because your V harm should be your massive.
Yeah.
And you do +1 harm because of combat driver, and you add V harm +1 as well, right? So that's a lot. That's great. Good awesomeness. So you run over him and the donkey. He does fire on you because it's 7 to 9. So he just slices across your wheel. So the good news is, except for the fact that this might be a crash, he's not shooting you with the laser. So this is 5 harm, but your combat driver gives you 4. Your -1 armor. I don't think that adds damage. That's That seems a bit much.
Mm.
So it's 4 harm, vehicle harm, that your vehicle suffers before you slam into him and the donkey. If you'd held up, you would have just run over him. But instead, there's a giant friggin' wreck. And 4 harm is a breakdown. It's a catastrophic functional damage, can be repaired in a garage, but not in the field, or it could be used for parts. 3 harm can blow through to passengers, which means, bam, you slam into the cyborg donkey and Clarion, or maybe it's Clarion 2.0. Not sure at this point. There's a huge crash, and Dex and Screwloose, you guys are thrown clear. You get to roll. I mean, or Dex, did you put a seatbelt on?
Did I?
Does it have seatbelts?
I was going to say this thing has seatbelts. That's news to me.
What's a seatbelt?
What's a seatbelt? Awesome. So 3 harm armor does come into effect here.
Okay, only 2.
So only 2 harm for Screwloose. So you're at 6 o'clock, and go ahead and make the harm move, Screwloose. So you'll be rolling 2d6 minus 2.
It's a 5.
Okay. Yeah, that's not the best. Go ahead and mark the XP for that, though.
Thank you.
And you know what? I'm just going to say that you landed on a part of the donkey, and the harm is worse than it seems because it was a tailpipe and it's sticking through your leg.
It's a tailpipe.
It's tailpipe, not a leg pipe.
So you end up taking 3 harm total.
Ow.
And you now have a tailpipe sticking through the meat of your thigh. That sucks. Dex, do you have any armor?
I do.
Good.
And I'm gonna, tuck and roll.
All right. Roll
'cause
it.
That's what I'm trying to do.
2d6 minus 2.
All right. Hork.
Bloop, bloop.
What we
Come
got?
on.
Oh, an 8.
Nice. Well, you rolled gangbusters. That is great. So on a 7 to 9, the MC chooses one. Lose your footing. I mean, that's what this is all about. Lose your grip on whatever you're holding. Lose track. Miss noticing something important. Yeah, it's a cacophony. As this thing had ridden out of Neon Blossoms, and after warning Marilyn not to run over it, Marilyn ran over Clarion and the cyborg donkey. You get thrown, and you end up tucking, rolling, and when you stop rolling, you're laying on a nice, smooth bit of poured concrete. Like you're on the very edge of a sidewalk. Like you went over a curb,
Mm-hmm.
and you're laying there on the sidewalk.
Grown.
Marilyn, do you have any armor?
1 armor, I think. I got
Oh,
some
yes, you
bit of
do.
letters.
Great. So you're taking 6. You're going to 6 o'clock as well. And let's go ahead and have you roll your harm move. 2d6 minus 2.
We'll quickly create a roll. Minus 2. Nope. That's the roll it. Okay. We're just taking it.
Oh, so close.
In chat, I stand by my decision.
Okay. So go ahead and mark XP for rolling the harm move as well. I see a 6 and therefore you have a miss on the harm move. I think you're incoherent. Like, this is a thing where do you have a helmet? I don't see where you wear a helmet because you have your nice hair. The helmet would hold
I've got a
it.
lot of hair on my
You've
head.
got a lot of hair, right? So like it's blue and red now because you cracked your head as you came down from the top of this thing over on top. And as you're
Where
laying
am I
there,
on the? Oh, sorry.
oh, where are you? You're
On
you're
the wheel. No, no, on the clock. I mean,
Oh, you are just a 6.
Yeah.
It's fine. Just right now, you're a little dazed. And you see that donkey riding person is moving feebly and groaning, but he's still alive. And he's right beside you, Marilyn. What do you do? He's got half of a wheel and a donkey on top of him. He's not moving anywhere anytime soon.
okay. I don't have a revolver, and I look around for anything like as a makeshift weapon.
Ooh. Screwless, do you have any makeshift weapons?
I mean, literally, like just a scrap of sharp metal, debris,
Oh, yeah. Well,
anything.
we'll say that there's a piece of your car, a piece of your motorcycle that you know where it goes, and it should not be out here in the open, in the muck, just outside of Neon Blossoms, in the dead man zone between Neon Blossoms and Dusk Harrow Way. But it's sharp enough. It's like you could probably do some damage with that. What do you do?
I kind of struggle onto my knees, very woozy, looking him in the eyes. Has he got any recognition? Is he like?
Trespasser.
Whatever. And then summoning the spirit of whatever, I guess. And I think it's like one of the actually one of the levers, from like the steering lever things that I've got that's like broken off and has a jagged edge. So I just like rest it onto his neck and they're just weight off.
And this viscous knot blood comes pouring out of the wound that you make. And you actually felt for a moment it was like pressing it against an aluminium roof or something.
Mhm.
And then finally it pushes through and he chokes for a moment and grows still.
Then I drag myself to whoever's around nearby, anyone nearby who's hurt, to check on them.
All?
Yes. I
Everyone's
impaled.
hurt. Flotsam and Jetsam were at the back of this. They are
Okay.
hurt.
I go to
Lancers
the
are hurt.
person, the
Dex
people I
is
care
hurt.
about who are hurt.
Oh, so Dex appears not great. She's lying on a sidewalk.
Okay, I see. Yeah, no, I think I see like Screw Loose, and I like, okay. Now I go
Screw's
towards
probably
Dex
just going.
to start dragging
"Ow."
her towards Screw Loose.
4 updates installed.
Dex, come on. Screw Loose needs you.
I'm just like yelling at something that's probably not you to hurry up. Sure, come on. Let's go. Tell me what you're seeing.
Yeah, I was beat directing her since she seems to be kind of blinded by
Mm-hmm.
the weird demons in her head. Like, not said with judgment, just demons in her head, and directed towards Screw Loose around debris. I assume.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're gonna come over to Screw Loose. You can feel a leg. You can feel a tailpipe. Somehow they're joined.
Mm,
He's got a pipe through his leg. About half of it. His leg.
Ow.
okay, that's
Do I pull it out?
I don't think so, right?
no. We have to put a tourniquet above the injury, and then we have to get him to remedy because we're going to have to operate.
I first still need to. Can someone grab my blowtorch? Because it's a bit big.
I'll get out.
I need
Just,
to kind of cut it. Not my leg, please. The tailpipe. Ow.
That's going to raise the temperature of the tailpipe and damage the tissue further. But more than that, it's going to hurt a lot, Screw Loose.
It does
It already
hurt
hurts.
a lot.
I know. And I can't, and I'm like looking at my different, I'm checking over my pouch of stuff that I just always have with me. And like trying to tell apart my topical painkillers with my antiseptics. And I'm like,
can I help?
Yeah. Can you help to do some field medicing?
I think that's definitely a thing to do.
I think I would help. My help would be probably kind of sounding out the words on the little box of the pills and
Mm-hmm.
describing. I mean, maybe you could probably tell the tools from field, but
Yeah.
can't read the pills from field.
And in
Nice.
fact, instead of buying my nice life support and medical upgrade for my refuge, I'm gonna bump up my sharp.
Ooh. Oh.
But I'm definitely going to suck up the -1 from that.
Okay.
I roll my cool sharp move save. That's +2, which is how much HX I've got with Dex.
Okay.
11.
It's a very good help roll.
That is very helpful.
that
And you
do
get to bump
something?
your HX. Dex gets to bump her HX with you, Marilyn,
Okay.
as a result of that.
Well, good news, everyone. I rolled a 5.
Oh God. And oh dear God. So you rolled your sharp is a 3.
Mm-hmm. But
and
it's -1.
Double help is not a thing, right? I can't also help.
No. So you got a +1 from the help from Maryland, though.
I mean, it's obviously
So that would cancel that out.
How we
I just want to make sure I've got the math right before we slam the hard move on you. So you've got a sharp of 3, -1, +1 from the help. So, because I'm not going to be terrible and say you couldn't do it before and now you can't. That's a bit much. You do this stuff blinded, right? So then that would just unfortunately push you to a 6. Okay, sorry. I just had to do the math before we did the.
You could still say that Alex could roll, and you could change the rolls. I mean, that's what didn't work last time. Just
I mean, the miss on field
yes.
medic isn't that terrible, so I think we'll just roll
Okay.
forward just so we can keep moving with the brief period that we've got, Maryland.
Perhaps my updates like, the system will now restart multiple times.
oh no,
Yeah.
state.
Yeah, I think
And
was
like,
that's
I
it.
may or may not pass out.
Yeah, and on a miss, you see at once there's nothing you can do for them. So I think it's just the field medic. You're not able to. Here out on the field, removing that tailpipe is only going to make things worse. It could rip an artery open. It could kill Screw Loose, and these updates are a little too much. And I think Dex, you just kind of pass out. Yeah. Yeah. So with Marilyn, played by Alex, about to jet, I think
Well,
that's the
my
thing.
work
Is
here
like,
is done.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not.
Uh, Good luck, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And send me a link as soon as it's uploaded so I can see
Uh,
how this has gone.
what a time to have to jump. See you later,
Yeah.
Alex.
Yeah.
Bye.
Sweet. So, yeah, I think the last thing that we hear in this scene is this very foreign sound, Screw Loose. It's like a weird klaxon. But Dex, you know that it's the sound of an ambulance. So we'll cut to whatever. You make your way. It's been hours. You make your way to Remedy, and you and the remnants of the Hollow Men come staggering in, and Monk. Oh, whatever, please come in. Let's take care of you.
Yeah, hi.
Lion, cancel the hair appointments.
Can you take care of these guys too? Because they are injured as well, I think. Maybe.
We'll do what we
Possibly.
can. Where's Dex?
Cool.
Thought she was with you.
No, I hope she. Wait, didn't she get out?
I don't know that.
Obviously not, but yeah, well, there was a bit of a problem there. We'll let the show, and we stay behind to buy time for everybody else. But if Dex isn't here, that's not good.
No, that's not good. Let's get you fixed up. We'll worry about that later. Right now, let's take care of you. And she'll guide you over to one of the chairs that sits in front of a sink.
You know what? Take care of my guys first. I'll wait for Dex.
Monk will give you a once over. Take it easy, okay?
Yeah. I'm staying here. I'm just pep talking my guys and waiting for Dex.
God bless Splinter! Weetabix yells, bellows as he comes in. And,
I did not understand what you were saying, but it didn't
he
sound
holds up his
necessary.
hand. And you see
Yeah.
there's a big splinter sticking in his finger. He's very upset about it.
Oh, that has to hurt, Weetabix.
Don't even know.
Yeah,
Pain is
no.
horrible.
Yeah, I get you, man. I get you. Look, I got a bullet hole in my arm. That's not fun either.
I'm sure. I never been shot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I had
Dandelion walks over, grabs his hand with one of her hands, has a set of tweezers, yanks the splinter out. He screams in pain. And then she hands him a bottle of isopropyl rubbing alcohol and then moves on to the other members of your gang. So he moves over to a sink and he's pouring. Oh, God.
I look at my pockets. I think I have a piece of candy here. Hey, you want this?
It's a butterscotch.
No. It's.
Good. I hate butterscotch.
I think it's
Still
a
take
lemon. I think it's a lemon thingy.
Lemon thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he'll grasp for it.
Yeah,
with his
go ahead.
grimy hand because he was crawling on the ground, and then he'll
Yeah,
pop it.
well, I take it back and say, wash your hands first, man. You gotta get the hives or something.
So he turns on the little, it's one of those sinks that has the like dip in it, and you get in the chair and it like, they lean you back to work on your hair. So he washes his hands in that sink, and it's like mud is streaking down over the faucet handle and everything, but he washes his hand to where, most of the mud's on the back of the hand, but clean palm.
Okay. Yeah, he gets his candy.
He is very happy. Like tosses the whole thing in his mouth and chews around the paper and then spits out the plastic.
Yeah, cool. So can you give me a head count, please?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand what you said.
Can you give me a head count, please?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm actually slurring my words here because
cool.
I'm a bit woozy myself because blood loss is no fun, and waiting for Dex is more superstition than that I'm really feeling better than anybody else.
Yeah, they give you a head count of 10. You make 11. So the hollow men are still, functional, but they're rough. And I think Monk says, I count 10 heads. You're the 11th. A couple of the guys are a little touch and go, to be honest. We'll do what we can for them.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll just sit here and try to keep this guy amused.
Good luck.
Thanks.
And then she heads off to do her work. Ariel, when you make it out of the forest of Duskharrow Way and the fight with your gang intact, where do you go?
If Alex was here, I was going to find him, but he's not, so I'm going towards the big top.
Really? Okay.
And
Well.
I look furious. And as we're going through, I look over and I say, call all of the troops to God, I'm so angry I've forgotten his name. Norval.
Okay. Oh, you're telling Norval that. I thought you were saying call them to a person. You're saying you're telling Norval that. Gotcha.
Yeah.
He says, Ariel, we're hurt. Are you sure about this?
I am going to lodge my displeasure.
All right. And you and your gang of 15 bastards or so make your way until you're standing under the lights at the outside of the big top, and Jinx comes out.
I need
Ariel.
to speak to Nero now.
Whatever for, Ariel?
His people have attacked me, have attacked my family.
Please wait here. And then she throws the flap back and goes into the big top. How long are you going to wait?
I'll give her 5 minutes.
Okay. 5 minutes goes by. You hear some movement from inside, but Nero hasn't come out yet. What do you do?
I look at Norval. Follow behind me. Start nothing. And I throw back the flap and walk in.
Cool. You throw back the flap. You see that there's a practice that's going. There are a number of folks that are not in the full dress. It's not a dress rehearsal. They're just kind of going through their routines together, training. You see that some of the kids that were at Proving are here watching, not participating. And there are some of the roadsters who are there And when you step in, click, one of the lights kind of swings around and shines right on you. What do you do?
I have no problems with spotlights. And so I assume they have a good follow spot. So I will walk straight down towards center ring.
Nice. So you head to center ring. Norval and the gang follow in behind you like a phalanx, close enough to where they could try to pull you in and surround you if need be. And you see there are a number of these kind of teamsters that are forming around. Most of them aren't wearing makeup. Like, this is a weird, the show is not happening moment. They seem a lot more human here.
As I get towards center, Nero, I asked to speak with you, and you left me on your doorstep.
I'm here. I understand you registered a complaint with Jinx. You're mixed up in a bit of business we had with Pieces of Eight over someone else. Apologies.
Your apologies mean nothing when my people were attacked. That is not appropriate for entertainers. And you know that.
Very well, Ariel. What do you and your little cabaret require for you to go away? Back to your ignominious place in Solomon's Wager.
If I had that much respect for your artistic quality, I might feel a little insulted. I don't, so I'm not. You will pay for my crew's medical bills caused by your men. And if Princess does not return to me, I will come seeking more.
So you've made your demand. I feel like we're triggering a move.
I think so, yeah.
Check in with you. What?
Yeah.
What?
I
Do you
suppose I'm
have a
trying to
playbook
intimidate
I
there.
think so. You're confronting, right?
Yeah,
Feels
yeah.
like it.
So that's going off my aggro, which is a +1.
Okay, this is cool. Look at you. You got your danders up.
Yeah, I don't have this happen often. Let's see how bad it goes. Oh, it's a 6.
Okay. You make your demand, and there's a long moment. And you see the Teamsters kind of look between each other. The people who were not on, they weren't in the center stage, so they still continued their exercise. They stop. This is a tone they've never heard from Ariel. And then a bunch of eyes swing up to this skybox where Nero is. And then
Oh, Ariel. You could have been something. Leave the big top now, and leave your gang here. And you will live.
I look up to the box, spit in the center of his ring, and turn around. Let's go, boys.
And the Teamsters all are grabbing for hand weapons, and it looks like there's a fight about to break out here.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Let's have you do battle. You enter into battle with another gang or larger force, exchange harm. You've got them with their pants down. There's only a gang here, a small gang that's around. So you're on equal footing. And in fact,
Okay.
you actually are able to do more harm. They're 1 harm, 0 armor gang right now. Norval and the others have guns. So you're what, 2 harm, 1 armor gang?
Yeah, yeah.
So you've got a little bit of an advantage right now, this moment. And as long as you fight and go, things might work out for you. Go ahead and roll plus aggro. Hard. Roll plus hard.
Roll plus
Sorry.
hard, yeah.
Yes. Sabine, you schooled me and I forgot it already. I'm sorry.
Ugh, 4. 3.
Oh, geez.
It's not liking me today.
Don't forget to mark the XP for hard. With a miss, I will bid 3 against you, and you may bid 1 against me. Let me quickly write down. Okay. So here are, do you have your bids? I'll just call mine out.
Yeah.
And you have your bid.
I know what I've got.
Okay. Fight for blood, because they realize they're going to have to fight hard. Which means that they go from 1 harm to a 2 harm. They are going to seize hold of something, and then with their third, they are fighting defensively because they're these guns and stuff.
All right. I'm fighting defensively.
Okay. So then let's do the math. They are a 1 harm gang. They fought for blood. You fought defensively. You have 1 armor. It's 0 harm. Big nasty fight breaks out. Your people are not going to take anything more than a bunch of bruises. However, one guy kind of busts in and shoves Norval down, grabs you, and is trying to run back towards basically the dressing room, like
Backstage.
The curtains that go backstage. Thank you. And then they fought for blood. They fought defensively. Your guys are firing on them hard, which means 2 harm. They fought defensively, 1 harm, 0 armor. They take 1 harm. So a bunch of these guys are getting shot. It's pretty cacophonous. There are people who are running, duck and cover. Non-combatants are trying to get out of the way. The kids are scramble underneath the stands. They're okay. None of them will be harmed. I'm not even coming close to that. It's not even interesting to me. So bam, at this point, your gang is now trying to run after you, pell-mell, trying to catch up to you, while this guy has you thrown over his back. He's kind of a broad-shouldered guy. He's a strongman type, this big, but he had a big hammer, like a big, like Mario hammer, Mario from, like Donkey Kong kind of deal, right? Exactly. So he hammered into Norval, knocked him down, grabbed you, and just took off at a dead run, which for a big guy like him is okay, but he's not a speedster. What do you do? What's your reaction as he's trying to snatch you away?
My reaction, me personally. Let's see. I suppose if he's got me over his shoulder, am I facing his butt, or is that the way it is? He's got me like over his shoulder, my butt's in his face.
Yeah, that way you can see your people running after you. Yeah.
All right. I'm a dancer, so I'm going to kind of reach up to his shoulders, push up, and bring my knee in solidly right into his face.
Nice. I like it. Cool. So that's what we see at the beginning of this, but let's go ahead and do another round of battle.
Okay.
Yeah. Here we go.
And I never get better at this, but I can't even increase it.
Oh, that's not even an improvement you can take?
Mm-mm.
Well, you can take a move from another playbook possibly that bumps you hard, but
I'll never get that up. I
mean, yeah, I really wouldn't bother
That's
with
not
it.
my focus, unfortunately.
I do believe that's a 6.
But for me, mine's still rolling.
Oh, I see a 7.
Is it? It's still just circling for me, so I'll go with whatever you're seeing.
Okay. It's showing at the exact same time of now because I see the 4 from before and it's showing a 1 and a 6 rolled. -1 means you have a 6. So make your one bid.
There it is. I see it.
Okay, cool. So you get 1 bid and I think I have.
What'd you? Oh, let's see.
I get 3
You
bids.
get 3.
So.
Okay, I've picked mine.
Okay.
You
Yeah, their plan is the same 3: seizing you, basically taking you behind the curtains into backstage, where they have reinforcements. The guys who are there are trying to stop your gang from getting in the way, so they are fighting defensively there and fighting for blood. So, what is the option you chose?
I chose see something.
Okay.
The gang's trying to grab me back. I'm trying to escape.
Okay, cool. So let's have you. If we both seize, whoever bids more to seize it has definite hold of it. I think they're not going to get you backstage,
but still have hold of me.
But they haven't completely lost hold of you. So I think what we have is you slip up. You knee him in the head. He drops down, but he's still holding on to you. You're trying to wriggle out, and not Norval, but another guy comes up to try to grab hold of you, pull you away, while Norval just walks up and he's putting a gun to this guy's back, and he fires. It just hits him, just shoots him right in the back, and he's gonna let go. But then there are a number of other Teamsters who are coming to kind of swarm in on you guys. And then they fight defensively, so they end up taking 1 more harm, which stacks. There's a few of the guys who are taken out in this round.
This is getting awful.
This is getting bloody. But a couple of them have tackled 1 or 2 of your guys, and they're pummeling and kicking them and beating them with pipes. Norval, it's like, we got to go. Let's go now. Let's run. What do you do?
He's right. I'm going to, yes, call a fall back. Let's go.
Okay. Let's go ahead and have you act under fire to get the hell out of here.
Let's see. That's aggro, isn't it?
It is cool, which you're good at.
I am good at that. Let's see if this dice roller likes me a little better.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. It despises me.
Oh, okay.
7.
+2 cool. You got a 7. All right. So here's the hard choice. I went ahead and marked your cool XP.
Thank you.
So you can take here. One of the 2 of you gets shot on your way out of this tent. Is it you or is it Norval?
Oh, it's definitely me. Oh, it's definitely me.
You get shot with a high-powered rifle and take 3 harm.
All right. I've got 1 armor. That takes it to 2. I need to roll a harm move, right?
Yes, you do. Roll 2d6 -2.
Right, and I'll get an XP.
Yes, you will.
And so I roll what now? Roll 2d6, right?
Yes, 2d6 minus 2.
Minus 2. That's 5 or 6.
Okay. I think that the thing is like someone shoved a burning hot poker through your right shoulder, comes in and is a through and through, and you see the blood kind of spurt forward, and you lose your footing. You slam down onto the dirt right in front of the very front of Big Top. Norval doesn't even miss a beat. He grabs and he picks you up, and he doesn't throw you. He princess carries you the hell out of there. You hear gunfire going off behind as you lose consciousness. So let's cut to Screw and Dex. As there is a van with shining red and white lights on the top of it racing towards you guys. Dex, they pull up, and a couple of a guy and a girl in nice crisp white clothes. One hops out of the driver's side, the other from the passenger side, and there you are on the nice manicured lawn and sidewalk, and they're coming over to you right now. Oh, that's right. You had actually gone back to try to help. So yeah, they're coming towards you. What name do they know you by in Neon Blossoms? Are you Dex here, or do you have a different name? You're Dex?
I'm still Dex here.
So yeah. So the woman says, Dex.
Yes, over here.
We have a contract to help you. Come. And they're
Take
approaching.
Screwloose.
We don't have a contract for him.
He has a complex puncture wound in his thigh. His life's at risk. I'm going to be fine. I look a mess because I'm going through a hardware update.
And the guy chuckles. Oh God, I hate those things.
Ow.
So yeah, so she'll like look through, and she like pulls out a scroll type thing. It's like a metal cap, and like pulls it for a second, and you see a bunch of like, it's a see-through, almost plastic thing with a bunch of words that appear on it. She says, "Oh, you deal with the scroungers. It's not exactly a crash card contract. This is going to cost you, buddy."
Okay. If you take away the owl.
Okay. And she's going to move down and start. You see this like gurney hovering towards, and she's starting to kind of lift him up and over, while the other guy says, "Oh, shit, there's some other people over here." And a guy with really nice hair. Damn.
And I call out Marilyn.
He's with us.
Because last time I looked at him, he seemed fine, but my vision's bad, so.
And he doesn't have any contract. It's not a port of call he chose, so. The girl says, "Hey, he won the circuit, right?"
One and the same. The best,
Throw him in.
dumbest driver you'll ever meet.
Yeah, that wasn't smart. Ow.
And yeah, they have you on a gurney that will float back towards the vehicle, and then along with all of the other people that were in the cart.
I'll pay their way. I volunteer.
Okay. Good. So yeah, you guys will be heading into a small clinic. Screwloose is taken in the ambulance, and the other paramedic will stay and call another car to come fetch everybody else because they're not in critical condition.
I'll try to get in the ambulance with Screw Loose.
Okay. That works. That makes sense.
Okay,
She's
yeah.
not going to fight you on that. She knows your credentials. So, yeah. So you're riding in the back, Screw Loose, of a very, very clean, high-tech
Pretty.
place. Is filled with all kinds of incredible gear, medical gear.
I think he's like trying to touch everything.
Yeah, and I take one of Screw Loose's hands to reduce the trouble he'll get in by hopefully about 50%.
Yes.
And then to distract him and myself, I close my eyes. I'm just like, Screw Loose. Yeah, pick something you can see. Tell me about it.
Well, this thing has, like, I think it's a screen, and there's a few lights underneath it, and there's like 40 buttons. 40.
In a simple grid or a different arrangement?
Yeah, pretty much over simple grids.
Huh. What's showing on the screen?
There's some lines,
Hmm.
different color ones.
Are some of them squiggly and some of them straight?
Yes.
Okay, that's gonna be your vitals.
Okay.
Yep. Highest likelihood is top's going to be heart rate. Next one's going to be blood pressure, then oxidation.
Oh, that second one isn't very high. Is that bad?
It can be. It can be bad. It means that you've probably lost a lot of blood.
Yeah, I think so.
But these facilities should be able to help.
The guy in the front says, "Hey, we've got plasma right back there. Check in box 3. You know how to get that set up, don't you, Dex?"
Yes, I do.
Oh, you said your eyes are going through updates?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you don't. He's fine. He's stable. He's not fine. Sorry. We're almost there. 2 minutes.
I haul myself up and find case 3 in the plasma.
Okay. And you are a good enough medic to where even fumbling around, you can find a vein.
I'm not even pretending. I'm gonna be like, I look to find his arm. I close my eyes to find the vein with my sense of touch.
Nice.
I think Screw Loose in the meantime is going like, oh, the piece of meat just fell out of the pipe.
And Marilyn didn't tourniquet you. Okay. All right. And I shout up front, tourniquets, where do you put them?
Box 6.
Got it. All right. Hold your hand right here. I'm serious.
Uh-huh. I trust you.
Okay. You don't have enough blood pressure to force too much through the pipe yet. Okay. And I get the tourniquet down over the pipe entry.
Nice. You're able
And
to.
in fact, I'm like, wait, fuck it. Was there coagulant in the same box as the plasma?
Of course there was.
I do the complete retard doctor moment and just pour coagulant into the pipe.
Oh, that feels great, Screw Loose. It feels great. It burns. Burns like just somebody poured hot oil on an open wound.
Sorry, Screw, this isn't really good treatment, but it's going to keep you from bleeding out
Okay.
quite as fast.
Hey, yeah, please don't bleed out. I got a performance eval coming up.
I'm trying not to. Ow. Ow.
And then the ambulance comes to a sudden jerking stop, and he hops out, and there are people who are rushing in. He's called ahead, and they're coming around you to go, wow, a whole tailpipe. Nice. Man, I can't wait to tell Sally about this one. It's total gallows humor from these guys. Like, they are not at all fazed by your current appearance nor wound state. And I think
Screw will be like, I wanted to take more, but
nice. He sounds like Clarion. Yeah. And I think the driver will say, Dex, if you've got a port, it'll speed the updates. Do you want to jack in?
I don't have a port.
Oh. Okay. Well, usually signal's a little really it's not as good in the ER, so if you want, I can take you to one of the filing rooms. The Wi-Fi's better there.
I'm staying with Screw until I know he's out of the woods.
Okay.
this looks like a building.
It's a crisp white building. It's like a low hum from the different lights. It's so bright. Everything just has this weird electric hum to it. It's like your workshop in a way. And you see, they bring you into the ER. They like wheel you. The gurney hovers over, and they pull this curtain around you, and they start getting to work to try to remove the tailpipe. Well, so what do you do before they finally decide, no, we need to put him out?
Are you asking Screw Loose or me?
Yes.
What's Screwloose doing before?
Right.
Yeah.
Probably like whatever they're going to put, like if they're whatever they're going to use to take him out, he's probably going to reach for it and go like, ooh. Can I have a look?
Yeah, that sounds good. So yeah, they eventually Dex, the doctor, she says, Dex, I'm gonna go ahead and knock him out. It's a little difficult to work with him. He's a little too curious for his own good.
Well, he'd probably have to go under for surgery anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's so close to his major vessels, and he needs at least some artificial vessel replacement.
Yeah.
At least if we're going to keep all of his leg tissue alive.
Yeah. We'll
You have an IV in. Why did you sedate him via radio?
Why didn't I sedate him via radio?
Why did you sedate him via, I assume that it's an electrical stimulation to create the sedate effect.
Nice. She's well, we don't have to worry about the mix, right? Anything going into blood system, there's always the possibility that the body can have a different reaction, especially people out there. But we found that the sonic stimulation can achieve the same effect with less deleterious after effects or the possibility of a bad mix.
That makes sense.
See, oh God, you got hit with updates as soon as you came in? You really should come to Neon Blossoms more often.
Mm.
If you go through the routine cycle, it's always quicker.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, well, I'll just leave you to that. And then she gets back to work on Screw Loose. And yeah, Screw Loose should get the wonder of being knocked out, which means all the pain goes away. Let's jump to whatever you've been waiting around as Monk and Lion are both working on the rest of the Hollow Men when Norval brings Ariel in. And Ariel, I think you wake up at this point. You're in Remedy. You and your gang are here. And you see that whatever and a bunch of other gangers that were there defending the place are here as well.
Norval, how many? And I'm looking around at the gang.
We lost 4.
He's going to pay for this.
Yeah.
Hey, Ariel, I thought you got out. You okay?
Nero attacked me.
He attacked all of us.
I went
Okay.
to the big top and discussed with him a breach of etiquette attacking entertainers at an event, and his people began attacking us.
Mm.
I was
Look at you.
shot in the big top.
Okay, what did you expect would happen if you went there after he attacked the whole shebang that you'd put up? That he would apologize?
I expected him to pay for my people's care. I expected a degree of civility.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what can I tell you? That was a bit naive, I think.
I suppose so.
Okay, so you need some help? I mean, we're not in good shape, but I think you'd want to regroup yourself.
Yes, I will be needing some help. And
Huh.
I noticed that because I think who's there? It's whatever.
Uh,
And
Well,
Just whatever.
yeah, it's whatever's gang. Screw Loose and Dex are at a clinic in Neon Blossoms.
oh, I got you.
It's okay.
Okay. I kind of look down at where I'm shot. How bad does it look? Are they working on me?
Yeah, I think Lion is working on you. And she says, I've seen worse. You'll be fine. It'll leave you a beautiful scar. A memory.
Oh, I'm not going to forget this.
Well, I'm the best stitcher here.
They do very tiny stitches, I think. Hey, do you have something to drink or anything? I feel a bit woozy.
Are you all right?
No, I'm not.
How do I see where you're injured?
Yeah, probably. I mean, with 3 harm, that's probably pretty visible.
What do you think hurt? Like what's the visible wound we see on you?
That's the one on the arm that's bleeding a little more than a little. And I might have had a pretty deep graze on my non-metallic thigh. And the rest is probably just mostly bruises from running around and jumping around and getting banged up by trying to jump out of the way of gunfire, because I imagine that's actually not very healthy.
Oh.
But the worst thing is probably the wound in the upper left arm.
Whatever, they did this to you. Are you going to be okay?
I'm waiting for Dex, but I probably will. I mean,
Why are you waiting for Dex?
because she's not here yet.
You need to get bandaged up.
Yeah, and I'm lowering my voice so that Monk and the other lion won't hear that. But I really trust Dex the most. These guys are fine, but
You're shot.
yeah, not the first time in my life.
You're bleeding. I think you can trust them to put a bandage on you.
Is there a move for what you're doing there?
Not really. I mean, I don't think I can try and charm or whatever on you. And I can't call in a bond.
No, this is probably no.
I think I'm speaking logically.
Oh wow, there is no move for speaking logically. Come on.
What's this
I
game
I
about?
feel charm should be fine.
I mean, charm should be fine.
Yeah,
Probably charm or no, it's not confront. It's
I think charm or
mostly
deceive.
charm.
Let's have you do it.
Okay, what the hey? All right. Let's see if this roller's gonna care about me at all tonight.
Oh, yeah, it did.
That's
you get
a
a cool +2.
9.
That's a 9er. So the 7 to 9, if they don't want to go along with you or call you out, they could choose to ask for evidence, a time, a compromise, or some concrete assurance, or you can just go with it.
I think I'll tell Ariel, yeah, you first. That works out, I'll do it.
Fine. Lion, please, will you get me bandaged up and then take care of Stubborn over here as quickly as that's done?
Of course, we like taking care of Stubborn over here.
I'm not named Stubborn.
Whatever.
Oh. Yeah.
And so she will, she'll start stitching up the wound. And as she does, like she's got this little stitcher that she's adding through the needle, curving through it. It's like little stings, but not nearly as much pain as what you've been in over the last half hour to hour.
Yeah.
And she just idly, like making conversation, says, we could make this a centerpiece of a really nice bit of ink.
Not right now, please.
Of course not, but think about it.
Norval, make sure whoever is capable gets back to the Fantasia. Have our people send them to the boardwalk.
Okay. I'll send some people back now. Most of them want to stay with you, but I'll make them go.
Thank you, Norval.
Cool. So I feel like this feels like, even though it's a bit of a downer note, it might be our like end of session moment. People all in clinics and hospitals getting tended to. I think the last thing we might see is that Lion, now having done her work on Ariel, looks to you. She's not going to approach you, whatever. She kind of looks to you like, can I look at your arm now, please?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, she's got to be pretty much out of it by now. So, yeah. She said, yeah, whatever.
And she'll come over and immediately start cleaning the wounds, and she'll hand you some something for the pain. And we'll finish up with everybody getting doctored and stitched on and all that good stuff. That will be the end of our session. So let's do our traditional move thing for end of session. As the who knows you better bit. Let me bring that up. Session end. At the end of every session, mark one free experience. I am going to mark the one for Marilyn. I'm saying this out loud so Alex knows. Oh, that's weird because he needs to take an improvement. So, Alex, this is me telling you, mark 1 free XP after you do your improvement. I'll mark it.
Just mark it, yeah.
Yeah, you'll mark it, and you know that you need to clear everything out and take an advance. All right, cool. So let's go around the horn. Screw loose. Who knows you better?
Dex.
Okay, Dex, you get to mark your HX with screw loose up by 1, so it goes from 1 to 2. Dex, who knows you better? You gonna flip a coin between Dex and screw loose?
Marilyn,
Marilyn,
let's
screw
screw
loose. Yeah, I can't remember which of them got my last one. You know what? I'm gonna make it screw loose.
Okay. Whatever. Who knows you better?
I think that would have to be Ariel.
Makes sense. Absolutely. That last scene definitely was pretty strong.
Mhm.
Ariel, who knows you better?
I think it would be whatever.
Okay.
That flips and drops to 1.
You get a
Hey.
question.
You get a question.
I get a question and 1 in. It's not an improvement, it's a free XP, right?
Correct. You get a free XP.
Which will flip me.
All right.
I think Dex also still gets a question from whatever, or
think
to
so.
whatever, because
Right.
of the rollover.
Yeah.
Right. Because we're going out negative, we're going to go ahead and do that as a question as well. We'll open with questions if that sounds okay with everybody, unless you have one immediately. Okay. Let's do our traditional stars and wishes. And I know that Alex likes to be able to hear those, so we'll keep the recording going. Who'd like to go first for wishes?
I'll go. I think I want to. I want to deal with all this aggro. I mean, I'm pissed off. I feel like that there was. I think there's a breach. If we can manage to have some sort of civility inside of this thing, I don't think you shoot each other in the middle of a street. I think I'm pissed, and my wish is to try and see what authority there is. I want to rally folks against what happened here. You can't have that sort of thing go on. So I want to continue this problem.
That sounds fun. I like that wish. Who'd like to do the next?
I can do the next. My wish, I mean, it's obviously shaping up for a bigger conflict, and my wish is that there was an opportunity at least for whatever to get some more gear. I'm growing partial to these grenade things, really.
All right.
Sign on with me and I'll fund the hell out of you.
Yeah, oh gosh, I'm signing up with Ariel. Oh, that's kind of, I don't know how I feel about that.
Cool. Thank you, Sabine. Jen or Jan?
I wish I had a bit more agency this session.
Okay.
I was riding alongside in the vehicle and then got skewered, and so I didn't get to do a lot of things.
You're right. I'm sorry about that.
It's fine. Just, once I come out of the coma,
100% agency all the time. Cool. Okay.
Yeah. I, for one, wish to see Screw Loose set loose in the playground of Neon Blossoms a little bit, because that's just going to be fun. And I think that this is probably going to happen pretty naturally, but I'd like to get looped back into this trouble that Ariel and whatever are tied up in right now, too.
Yeah, I definitely would love to see a group scene, like a conversation to figure this out.
Yeah.
All right. Jen, you went last for wishes. You get to go first for stars. Got any stars stand out?
I mean, of course, you just gotta remember all of them and line them up. It was fun to see Ariel on the warpath.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. That was cool. It's interesting how alien Neon Blossoms is in this mix of like things that we're all pretty familiar with and things that we're really not. And how weird it is for somebody to like come and pick us up in an ambulance.
Like there in my head, this sucks because like I try not to have Monty Python references in my RPG sessions, but like in my head, it was that moment of Monty Python Search for Holy Grail when like the cops show up. It's like, oh, this is really anachronistically odd.
Right. Yeah, there was some of that for sure. So that was cool. It was so cool seeing whatever, like showing a lot of integrity and backbone this session. It's cool to see more of what she's made of. It's very nice. And then just seeing these inter-regional conflicts starting to play out. It's very hold on to your butts kind of story. So I'm interested in more.
Cool. Thanks, Jen. Jan, do you have any stars you'd like to hand out?
First of all, like everything was deliciously violent. Like every scene just ended up in violence. It's really greatly ridiculous. I really liked Ariel facing off against what's her face? His face? Whatever. No, not whatever. But you know what I mean. I agree that whatever was also like fleshed out very nicely. I was amused by the system the system updates for decks, and yeah, just the Game of Chicken by Marilyn was also great.
Cool. Thanks, Sean. Sabine, do you have any stars?
Sure. I mean, as someone, Jen, said, Ariel on the warpath, that was nice to see that side of her, that she's not just nice and I'm a little butterfly. I love that, and she's still, and also she's still the same person. Like she still cares about her guys. She doesn't want to leave them behind, but yeah, sometimes it's difficult. So, and I actually enjoyed, Marilyn just going at the cyber donkey for, that was, and all hail to the cyber donkey, I guess. And another star for Dex and those updates. That was a lot of fun for Dex. And to Screw Loose, I really love this. Ow. I really enjoyed that, and the tailpipe through you. I shouldn't enjoy that, but the whole drama around the whole tailpipe thing, that was really, really fun to listen to.
Cool. And then Tyler.
I want to star first off the amazing hard moves and choices you threw at me. From very beginning, the choice of Princess or Norval, an unbelievably hard choice for me there. And then I put myself in danger. The dice told their story and you hit me good and solid. And I think that's, I appreciate that. That was good. It has made a turn in character. I appreciate having good hard hits. I like that. It should be dangerous. It's a dangerous world. Whatever I liked in several things going on. I liked the big ultra violence of the beginning there with all the things around and big melee and then our conversation, which was, you know, calling me out on naivete, but at the same time, we have then the interaction of, okay, maybe I'm naive, but you're being stupid. Get bandaged up. You're about to pass out. You know, we had this kind of back and forth of what we are at our roots and where that can be a flaw as well as a strength sort of conversation. I thought that was nice. I enjoyed watching the whole Dex and Screw Loose and Marilyn flee, and the conversation as they're going was fun. I agree on you kind of didn't have a chance to do a ton. So I can only star that I adore the character. And you know, I'm looking forward to, I have something in mind for doing with you, and now we're gonna have this big tension. So a star for the fact that you've developed a character I am so interested in interacting with. I'm just so big on that. And I want to star Alex for kind of the get on, whoever could fit. Not everybody can get there, cause I'm pissed at Nero, but I'm also really pissed at Maryland too. I paid for a trip out and back, and I don't know where Flotsam and Jetsam and Cyrano are at this point. And I am looking forward to when I do confront Maryland, because my dander is up and I may be a little upset with him as well.
One of the things he said at the end of last session was he wanted an opportunity to be cowardly. And I think he definitely took advantage of that. Well, I have a few stars. Are you done, Tyler? I don't want to cut you off. I'm sorry. Okay. Really enjoyed whatever this session. Seeing whatever in charge of a gang is such a new facet and interesting. I thought the fight was pretty hard and unexpected. Like, I didn't think things would go quite that bad. Whew, it was rough. Tyler, I liked Ariel. Just nope. These people go. They're my dancers. I'm going to stand with the troops, and putting Norval in such a terrible strait of having to be the Sachopazzo to your windmill attacks was fun. I really enjoyed that. So I quite like that. And I'm really happy to see Dex in Neon Blossom and Screw Loose in Neon Blossom, because their interfaces with both are going to be so different and fun. So it's like, I want a group scene for people to talk about what just happened, but I also want to see those two characters in that environment as well. So I'm going to have to kind of mix and match a little bit and figure out how to make that go. We didn't get as much Alex because it was kind of bouncing around the different scenes, but definitely made an impact. And Clarion is dead, never to be seen again, because that was a pretty fitting end. Thank you all so much for playing. I feel like we've definitely hit like a next level up from the action, the conflict, things going on. There's some big things happening in the locations. It's going to be pretty fun to see how this comes out. So we will see you guys next week. Thank you all.